Here are 100 detailed curiosities about the North Pole that blend science, geography, history, and culture. The North Pole is located in the middle of the Arctic Ocean. Unlike the South Pole, it is not on land but on drifting sea ice. There are actually two North Poles, the geographic and the magnetic. The geographic North Pole is the northernmost point on Earth. The magnetic North Pole is where Earth's magnetic field points vertically downward. The magnetic pole constantly shifts due to changes in Earth's core. Currently, the magnetic North Pole drifts about 40 miles per year. The North Pole has no permanent landmass. The ice there is about 6 to 10 feet thick, floating on the Arctic Ocean. In summer, temperatures average just below freezing. The sun rises only once a year at the North Pole. It sets once a year too, creating 6 months of daylight and 6 months of night. The North Pole experiences a phenomenon called the midnight sun. During polar night, it remains dark 24 hours a day for months. Polar bears live in the Arctic, but not at the actual North Pole. Penguins do not live in the Arctic at all. Narwhals, known as unicorns of the sea, live in Arctic waters. The Arctic Ocean is the smallest and shallowest of all oceans. The name Arctic comes from the Greek word for bear, Arctos, referring to constellations. The constellations Ursa Major and Ursa Minor are visible in the Arctic sky. The North Star, Polaris, is almost directly above the North Pole. Early explorers used Polaris for navigation. The North Pole was first reached by humans in 1909. Robert Peary and Matthew Henson claimed the achievement. Some historians dispute Peary's exact location claim. Norwegian explorer Roald Amundsen was also a pioneer in polar exploration. The first verified flight over the North Pole was in 1926 by Amundsen, Nobile, and Ellsworth. The nuclear submarine USS Nautilus traveled beneath the pole in 1958. The first surface ship reached the pole in 1977, a Soviet icebreaker. Icebreakers are ships designed to smash through thick polar ice. Russia, Canada, Denmark, Norway, and the US claim rights in the Arctic. The Arctic is rich in untapped oil and gas reserves. Climate change is melting Arctic ice at an alarming rate. Summer sea ice has decreased by about 40% since the 1980s. Melting ice opens new shipping routes, like the Northwest Passage. The North Pole is one of the most remote places on Earth. There are no permanent settlements at the pole. Scientists live in temporary camps or research stations on the ice. Russia's Borneo Ice Camp is set up each spring near the pole. The Arctic Ocean at the pole is over 13,000 feet deep. Santa Claus is a mythical figure said to live at the North Pole. This legend originated from European traditions of Saint Nicholas. The commercial image of Santa was popularized in the 19th century. In reality, there is no workshop at the North Pole. Greenland and Finland also claim ties to Santa's home. The northern lights, or aurora borealis, are common near the Arctic Circle. These lights are caused by charged particles from the sun. Polar explorers faced scurvy due to lack of vitamin C. Indigenous peoples like the Inuit thrive in Arctic regions. The Inuit use igloos as temporary shelters. Inuit kayaks inspired modern kayaking. The word kayak comes from the Inuit language. Polar bears are excellent swimmers, covering long distances in cold water. Arctic foxes change fur color with the seasons. Reindeer, also known as caribou, are native to the Arctic. The Sami people in Scandinavia herd reindeer. Musk oxen are another hardy Arctic species. The Arctic tern migrates from the Arctic to Antarctica each year. This journey is the longest migration in the animal kingdom. The North Pole region is a major carbon sink. Melting permafrost releases greenhouse gases. Submarine volcanoes exist beneath the Arctic Ocean. The Lomonosov Ridge is a major undersea mountain range in the Arctic. Russia planted a titanium flag on the seafloor beneath the pole in 2007. The polar ice cap reflects sunlight, regulating global climate. As ice melts, darker ocean water absorbs more heat. This feedback loop accelerates warming. Polar bears rely on sea ice to hunt seals. Melting ice reduces their hunting grounds. Walruses also depend on sea ice for resting and breeding. Some scientists predict ice-free summers in the Arctic by mid-century. Arctic explorers often used sled dogs for transport. The Siberian Husky and Alaskan Malamute are famous Arctic breeds. Early polar expeditions often ended in tragedy. Food shortages and frostbite were common dangers. The Franklin expedition of 1845 vanished in the Arctic. Its wrecks were only discovered in the 21st century. Polar explorers sometimes ate their sled dogs to survive. Modern polar expeditions use advanced gear and GPS. Airplanes can land on prepared ice runways near the pole. Tourists can visit the North Pole on guided expeditions. Icebreaker cruises take tourists close to the pole. Polar marathons have even been held on Arctic ice. Temperatures at the pole are warming faster than the global average. The Arctic is warming about 4 times faster than the rest of the planet. The thinning ice makes navigation more dangerous. Polar bears sometimes attack camps near the pole. Expeditions carry rifles for protection. Satellite imagery helps scientists monitor Arctic ice. The North Pole is crucial for studying climate change. The Arctic Council coordinates international cooperation. It includes Arctic states and indigenous representatives. The North Pole has 24 time zones, yet none officially apply. At the pole, all directions are south. GPS works, but compasses fail near the magnetic pole. Ice sheets drift, so the pole's location on the ice constantly changes. Despite harsh conditions, life exists in Arctic waters. Plankton blooms support the entire Arctic food chain. The North Pole remains one of Earth's last true frontiers.